Yo, Morning, psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in our lives, so sort of thing. Self-improvement process to reach the highest goals and ambitions we set for ourselves, as well as those around us. If you would like introduction, a brief summary into how we break down the Ahn Rho Project into sub-series, domains of life, so on and so forth, including the live stream schedule as well as the copyright for music, you can check that out the previous live streams for the past 3.5 years straight to January 2021 for the more updated versions and beyond. With that being said, let's dive into the second segment. Usually about 10-11 segments per live stream across 15 minutes. Won't take up too much of your time. Time is short. So with that being said, there are let's break it down. 10 segments. The first 3 are introductory bits. So the first one is like a really just introduction. The second part is what we have right now, table of contents, what to expect. After that is the third and last introductory bit, which covers disclaimers, how we're going to be honest and non-PC on stream and stuff like that. After that, we have the second phase, which is actual content. So 4, 5, 6, 7 segments. First one, directory, covers all the podcasts and media assets compiled together. Fifth covers more into digital assets that are not my own, such as educational materials, digital social media files. After that, we go into segment 6, 7, and 8. 6 has to do with metrics, financing, budgeting, Excel databasing, spreadsheets, a lot of tracking of fitness and finance. That bleeds also into photography, which is basically number 7. Covers some food and dietetics, any products that we purchase through grocery or gift items. And finally, the last one, actually, I should say that 8 is also supposed to be a bit of I'm kind of reworking this around, but basically 8 should be something along the lines of storytelling. That one's not so much digital, but basically 8 and 9. Okay, so then the third phase is 8 and 9. One is more active. We get up around the room. Let me move this down here so it's not as boring. You can see that's region D1 at the very back there. D4 on the side. So basically, we're going to get up and move around. We're going to see a lot of physical items. We're going to start moving around, and it's going to be more engaged and more active part of the stream. And then segment 9 is supposed to be, talking, sitting down as I sit down here right now. Storytelling, commentary, a lot of stuff like that that I can't show you visually. And last but not least, 10 and 11 comes to a close, right? We're talking, so 10, 11, just replying to comments, posts, anything you have to say, any jokes or memes, you can sort of lighten up the atmosphere if you like on the bottom left-hand side. And then at the very last one is take-home message if we have the time for that. Usually we don't. That being said, let's move on to the next one. So like I said, disclaimers, third section. First one, we're going to be real, raw, and genuine. We have to be honest on stream by analogy because the Ahn Rho Project is a time capsule of my life. It doesn't do me any good to not be that way. So I'm going to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly, even if it covers emotional baggage, personal insecurities. I won't shy away from non-PC topics, so viewer discretion is advised. Second thing I gotta mention is, this is clearly a very purposeful driven. It's a very purpose-driven stream. Sorry, that means that I have a lot of goals and objectives to check off every time I do this stream. So understand that that doesn't mean that you can't lighten up the atmosphere and leave jokes and memes and stuff like that on the bottom left hand side. Feel free to do that. It's all up to you. You can start a conversation. It's all up to you. It's just that when I'm working on this, I do have things I have to get done, and so it's a very purpose goals oriented stream. After that, I gotta say the last disclaimer, just we're gonna apply some game mechanics, just like life is like a bowl of cherries. It's like a journey. It's like a river. It's like a business analogy you can use. Also, the time capsule I used earlier, but also it's like a game. So I'm applying some game theory mechanics over clearly to the Ahn Rho Project. That being said, let's move into the actual content for today. So directory, I'm gonna try and pull up and see if we have any. Oh man, I don't have it here right now, and that's all right. But basically, there were several recordings. I say there may be 4, 5, 6 recordings over the past 24 hours, or maybe even more in a previous day. And they covered conversation. One was between me and my cousin, just a very brief phone call, and another one had to do with me helping out my guardians with business and so on and so forth, because I'm trying to help them start a business. And I believe there was one more recording which I can't remember. I believe it was more personal, and it covered me trying to do psychotherapy for one of my guardians. Again, just a lot of domestic issues for the past 3 decades, and in the past 10 months I've been basically trying to handle everything, all the related matters from my paternal and maternal side and myself. Okay, and the history beyond that. So even, into my grandfather's ancestry and how the issues play down from generation to generation. So that's that. That's the recordings. I have it all kind of documented here on spreadsheets, which we'll show you in a second. So that's kind of, and then we have the live stream. So live stream on top right hand side, where the way out. Where the way out? I'm worn down, so there's a little bit of pun there. But where is the way out? Yesterday's stream was kind of like, are we on our way out? It's kind of this big question of when is it over? When is it over? I'm constantly fighting every single day. It's just more and more struggle. It's wearisome, it's tiresome, and I'm getting exhausted. But we have to keep pushing and find a way to enjoy what we do. So if you take a look, you do see that again we still have the values up there in terms of $463 and so on and so forth. So if we turn to the side right here, let's skip ahead and cover a little bit of the Excel databases. So it's supposed to be segment 6, but I'm going to do it ahead right now. You can see there's some on sleeping times, getting to work. We also have the inventory, and we have even some stuff to do with research. So this stuff here that is playing into a little bit of educational content, digital media assets. So that's kind of relevant to segment 5 because, like I said, segment 5 is about media content. So as far as I'm concerned, I did some research into surface sprays, whether or not it's safe to use, things like Febreze, how does it work, kind of like triclosan. Some of them use antibactericides. That's not so great, but some of them, like Febreze, use other components that just are kind of organic molecules that capture odor particles. I also had to do some research into, if I scroll up here, so not just health and safety of that, because I want to clean up the room real quick. We have some things about, I bought a wallet. We'll see that in a second, but basically later on stream, 5 minutes or so, a wallet. So I'm thinking about things that can block out radiation for the devices that I'm putting on my body. I have 2-3 phones or something like that, or earbuds. So how can I make use of RFID protection and so on and so forth. I also did more research and other things. Apparently some music yesterday that was free as long as you don't monetize it, so non-commercial purposes. So there was a lot of stuff that I researched on, and that's basically documented in this research, kind of very brief, just covers the links and the dates and the topics. And then we have, of course, fitness, and I'm still in recovery mode because today clearly I'm going to be late for work once again, at least by 2-3 hours. Inventory, again, a lot of stuff happened over the weekend. I had to budget. I turned to the side in about 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to start cover all the objects in segment 8. So visually speaking, we're going to get up in the room, like there's a lot of stuff we need to work through. So that's that. Okay, let's just smack this to the side. So once again, all the purchases there was like Shoppers Drug Mart, No Frills, and so on and so forth. 3 different locations. That's why you see the money up there. And then we have some business products, which really takes it up to $400, which all the business products they have right there. So we're going to get to that in about 2-3 months time. Okay, quickly, I'm going to pull up right now. So we kind of ran through segment 4, which is directory, 5, digital media assets, and 7, which is metrics and databasing. Now let's go into photography. Photography, so segment 6 or 7. This is just very brief collage. You can see everything. It's a lot to cover here. What I'll do is I'll pull this to the side. That's everything. That's like 250 photographs. There is one thing I noticed on that collage. This is from Stoic Reflections, another digital media asset. So this segment 5, again, I missed out. But suffering arises from trying to control what is uncontrollable. Don't be too much of a micromanager is, I guess, the way to look at that in modern day terms. So, but Epictetus, once again, Roman Greece, like 2080 kind of thing. Again, I would agree with that. Everything in moderation, though. There is something. It doesn't mean that you can just slack off and not do anything either. With that being said, let's try to cover a few photographs if I can. Just so we can get a head start for tomorrow. I'll just cover maybe one here. You can see, like I said, I went to the grocery store, to Shoppers Drug Mart, No Frills, and stuff like that. See at the top, there's mostly Shoppers. There's some receipts on the top. Most of it's on sale. You can see that also, not only is it the receipt, there's also a picture of the snapshot on screen of something that was on sale. Everything I bought here is junk food, but it's all because it was on sale. And for the most part, I had to capture the screen because it was, until I pressed the pay button and check out with credit or whatever, it was not showing the deals as 2 for $5. Instead, it was almost double the price. So, but it ended up being on sale. So you can see some cookies down here that are scouting out, as well as some. Well, that's largely it. So I can remove this, and then we have only about 4 or 5 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is get up. Let's move on to segment You know, 9, I think I covered segment 9 already, right? Like I said, conversations between me and my cousin, my guardians, as well as some psychotherapy. So as far as I'm concerned, segment 9 is already kind of into covered, wrapped up with segment 4, which is the directory. So let's get up. Let's spend the rest of this stream here as much as possible trying to work through the physical items we need to cover. D1 is region D1, D3 on the floor, and D4 up there. So you can see there's a lot of stuff to work through. We also have some stuff on A7 and A8. So A7, A8 right here, A7. We have some food that again, we're still waking up too late. We're still eating oatmeal up here instead. It should be downstairs like 3-4 hours earlier than this, about midnight, about a little bit after midnight, really about 2 a.m. But I'm still not doing that. And so as far as I'm concerned, this one's largely clean. You're going to see that I'm going to move a lot of materials over to this end in a second. So that's why I cover that. Now over here in region D1, you can see there's a lot of 1 to 2 weeks old grocery items, as well as garbage. I want to cover the garbage because I toss it out. So we have this bag of bags within bags within bags, the food packaging, chopsticks, dirty napkins, stuff like that. Just put it all together. This one's for recycling, you know, just to use up cleanup box. So this is for trash. We have this garbage here, this litter, and we have recycling bin here. Okay, to D3 now, business products. I really need to sort this out. So Uzana Health Science is basically one of my, commissioned agent. Long story short, R&D, research, development, and biocellular nutrition. Very good. 4,500 Olympic athletes on listed on NASDAQ, so on and so forth. Now, I have these products here for about 2 months. 2 months worth of products that I didn't receive from my partner because of I was trying to sort out all the domestic familial issues within the household, or not really our house, but the point is it's a very broken, dilapidated family, if you want to call it that. It's just blood. So I've been trying to put through a lot of narcissistic behavior from both my guardians, put it to rest, kind of really take care of the anger management, all the abuse, all the violence and neglect after 30 years. And I haven't been able to focus on my work and business as much as I would like. So finally, KM has been very patient with me, and she finally came and brought over the products. It's right here, which, by the way, I did resolve it. So most of between me and my guardians, things are much more improved. But anyways, so I'm happy with that. Here are the business products. I need to sort this out because there's 2 months worth of stuff. You can see this large bag, that's another large bag, many small bags inside. That's because there's 3-4 bags for my clients, which is largely just soap. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to sort out, just kind of show you the soap in here, as well as the stuff here that I received as gifts. So yesterday I showed actually a bag here with like some Chinese Dragon Boat Festival dumplings and sticky rice that my partner KM made for me. So very much appreciate that, gratitude, appreciation. Put that in the fridge and gave it to my guardians because they've been having a hard time too, obviously. And then we have some stuff here. This is more gift items, so these are active nutrition kind of stuff. I won't go into any detail, but basically this is the kind of stuff that, again, she's just giving me as samples to try out. So there's a whole bag here. I'm going to put them inside and say that this slip here, this card, has to do with messaging. So I'm going to take out all the cards here, the slips, and then I have to just put it into, I believe, region A5 over there, which is all the cards. I've scanned it all. Then I'm going to take the soap bottles here. Okay, 1, 2. You see soap bottles here. I'm going to sort them out into one bag and then give it over to my guardians. Most of them, they are one of my clients, as well as some to my cousin, someone else as well. And then I have products for myself that I'm using. Now we got to cover this next in the next maybe 45 seconds, most importantly. So we have region D4 here, a bunch of, and we have to continue that tomorrow morning, obviously. But here, most importantly, there's some trash here from new groceries and new appliances. So first thing here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've scanned all these items, that's why they're here, and they are not food related. So plastic knives need to move over to region A5 over there next to the drinks. That's very important. What else I need to do? Over here, we also see that there are some bananas I need to have next to it. So this is for lunch. Sorry, for dinner. I gotta take these out. That's for dinner. But basically, we have these appliances and markers here, and I'm making a drop leg rig for one of my colleagues. So I'm gonna move these markers here, take out the packaging, which I scanned out, toss the packaging over there for trash. Markers go out, stay here. One for me to use, and then the rest I'm giving to my colleagues to make the drop leg rig. The wallet, as well as the mouse pad. This one I can't cover today because I don't have time, so stick it here. But the mouse pad, you don't want to have time for that either. Wow, I got no more time. Gotta do it tomorrow morning. See you there.